podcast. And today we are talking about relationships. What does it mean to you? Are you fit to be in a relationship? Are you ready? Are you healed? Are you the one? Do you know?
I'll stop pointing at default.
So let's talk about it.
So firm. So aggressive. Real quick before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to Jason for allowing us to use his barbershop. He was a big help to us. We really appreciate that. Men of purpose. Remember that. Men of purpose. But yeah, like what you said, we're going to dive into relationships. And what does it mean to you specifically? And how you go about your life. So I want Jalen go first today.
Yeah, I gotta go first.
Because I said go first.
What a relationship means to me, romantic relationship means to me is like, I feel like, of course there's gonna be problems within it. And it's not something that you're looking for, but I feel like something peaceful. I feel like is a big thing when it comes to a relationship. Like, if you can find peace within that relationship, that's something where you need to stay in. Not the whole toxic thing or people intentionally trying to be toxic because they see it on social media and they see somebody how they react on a certain way. They want that same type of, I don't want to say much of love, but the same type of reaction so they can feel like the other person cares.
They think it's cute.
Yeah, they think it's you. So that's why I feel like a relationship is peaceful.
Yeah, I feel that.
What do you define?
Go ahead. Hey,
What do you find peace? I mean, I feel like I ain't trying to. It's really a question on what you see. Because I do agree to a certain extent. But what if your relationship is peaceful, but do it still mean that the relationship you're supposed to be in?
$1 million question, Jay. I like that.
I'm gonna get back to you.
I think it depends. It depends on the situation and what it's bringing to your life. You can be in a peaceful, seems happy relationship, but it's not the relationship that's meant for you. And that all goes back to the relationship that God sends you. And that plays a part in making sure that you, like we've been saying, make sure you're deep into your face so you know who's really meant for you. Because you might be happy. You might think that this is where I'm supposed to be, and it's not. Because it may be holding you back even in a healthy way. I know it's crazy to say, but like maybe you're supposed to be somewhere else in your life, like move to a different city or move wherever, but you're staying here because you're happy. Yeah. You think this is where I'm supposed to be, but really and truly it's not, but you can't see past the love that you got right now. So I think it's really a case-by-case situation.
And that's why I asked that. Because I mean, you could definitely be fooled with peace.
I build you.
That's why we a team.
To talk about yours, you got you a little happy.
I love my man. I do.
She say it once a day. She worry about that. Once a day, she gonna say she love her man. She supposed to.
I really do. And see, it's definitely been a roller coaster, especially being like young in a relationship. But it's one of them things where I can say he definitely gives me peace, like he really do, and he taught me a lot about myself. And one thing about being in a healthy relationship, it revealed a lot of ugliness within you, because he revealed a lot of ugly within me that I didn't know that was deep down in there, that was just a lot of hurt. So when I realized that, okay, I need to fix myself because this is the person I want to be with, he was patient with me. And I feel like a lot of relationships now don't have patience. You can't be in a relationship if you're not patient. And that's why before you get in a relationship, it's important to come healed. Always knowing who you are, learning who you are and things of that nature before you get in a relationship. But sometimes it's a slippery slope because, like I said, I had to find more things out about myself once I got with the man, But it's really healthy right now, We not perfect by no means because I was ready to knock his head off the other day. I ain't lying. I was so ready. But we learned how to healthily argue and learn how to talk to each other, learn how to sit each other down and really tackle the problem and not each other.
Yeah. What does healthily argue mean?
So meaning I could be very upset. Instead of breaking another something,
You're so expressive.
I could just, just take a step.
She broke it.
I broke that man TV, and he's okay with me talking about that. But I broke that man TV, and that wasn't the right thing to do. And when I realized that, I had to check myself, like for real. I apologized. I brought him another TV the next day. I apologized. I sat him down. I said, I need to do some soul searching because I know why I'm hurt, and it's not from you. So I told him, when we have issues, We're gonna take a little space if we need to, because like me and Markeisha was talking about earlier, I'm gonna talk about what's going on, you know, but I'm too aggressive. So I learned to talk to him like he's a man, for one, and also knowing how to approach the situation. That way we can talk. So that's healthily arguing, because we agree to disagree a lot. Because the way I was raised and how he was raised, my upbringings, his upbringings, but we respect each other. You know? Yeah.
So we have 3 married individuals in here. So let's talk about y'all's relationships as married. I hate to say it like this, but married Black people. Let's talk about it.
And it's beautiful to see.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's talk about it. We want to step up to that.
Markeisha?
Don't all speak at once.
I wasn't gonna do you like that, but she did. So you know this.
Ladies
Let's
first.
do it.
So marriage is a beautiful thing. I feel like marriage is sacred, it's kind, it's patient. You know, when you find your soulmate, your person, you know, it's really a gift from God. It also is not cookies and cream every day. It's work. Like you may wake up and y'all are on 2 different pages today, because you got to realize, even though you are married and you are joined together as one, you still have to maintain your individuality, because no matter what happens, he's still a person, you're still a person. My husband always say that if somebody happy every day and everybody's in agreement every day, somebody faking, because you're not going to agree on every day. Everything that occurs, I mean, of course we understand that the man is the head, because in my life, God is, you know, the head of our life, but then my husband is immediately after him. So he's the head, but sometimes the head, unfortunately, they don't know everything. Unfortunately, the opinion and the situation that occurs is not the best answer that he gives. As a wife, as a woman, you still have to, you know, make sure you respect your husband in a way, but you also have to respect your family and the decision that is going to affect you all. Even when you're on a job, you know, you may see something or say something, but your point of view is not logical at the moment. So it's a beautiful thing to have a partnership with somebody, to be loved by somebody unconditionally. We can have an argument today, but I mean, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we still got to go to sleep together. We still got to be in the same house. We still got to love one another. I didn't get married to get divorced. I don't believe in it. I mean, certain things happen. There are certain grounds. Even God say that it's grounds for divorce, but a disagreement is a disagreement. But to be married, to have a partnership, to be in a relationship with somebody that you know that's for you, and therefore, excuse me, that, make sure you edit that part, okay?
I got you.
We have a little
blooper.
To be in a relationship with somebody that you know they are for you and you are for them, and that, you know, it's to they'll do y'all apart. It's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing. You know, it's one of the most blessed things up in life that I can honestly say God has blessed me with.
Love hearing people talk about marriage like
Me
that.
too.
We got 2
And I love you, babe.
I want to ask the 2 married men in the room, because Markeisha said some great stuff just a second ago. So I'm going to pass it to my married men in the room and see who want to go first. Talk to me, Jay. Who's already there?
I bet. Marriage is a beautiful thing. I won't say I hate, but hate is a very strong word. I really dislike the narrative that marriage is not a good thing. I know we're in a generation or in a time where marriage is contraction rather than impurity, you know what I'm saying? So, and just like Markeisha said with her statement, she didn't get married to get divorced. Now, I say that, I agree with that, but I do want to, you know, just to talk a little bit about my situation. I've been married twice, but to the same woman. You know what I'm saying? So, but it took maturity. I was young. I got married very young age. Things weren't going according to how I felt like it should have went, and so immaturely I divorced her and made it I felt like it was right. But you know, sword. And once you get in the word and you see something, you know, it hits you. And the word, it only say you. So you only get a divorce. You only subject to get a divorce, or you can get a divorce with unfaithfulness. You know what I'm saying? Or if you got an unbelieving spouse and they want to leave, then God will free you from the marriage. And there was neither case for my marriage. I just decided to leave over unspoken situations. But I eventually, as I got deeper in the word though, I eventually went back and made it right. And now still happily married. So I don't got the ring. But yeah, man, marriage it's a process. And I don't know another narrative that I know a lot about that I heard people say. It's like people want people to already be 100% when they meet them. Mm-hmm. And that's just a false narrative. You're not gonna meet nobody that's fully healed or fully capable of your ideal person. Like people make this list. You're not gonna check off that box list and then just be happily married ever after. Just like you said, if you in a marriage and y'all stuff is just peaceful all the time, happy all the time, somebody faking. Like, you don't agree to disagree. You don't argue. You don't fight. Now, granted, you should also have healthy arguments. If you in a toxic situation right now, I ain't gonna say leave in general, because sometimes it can take time, but you might want to rethink what you in. I mean, because at the end of the day, you love somebody. It's real hard to hurt, especially for people that get their hands put on. Those people out there that get their hands put on or get verbally abused by getting their name called out, their name, all out their name and things of that nature. But I think that boils down to also the process we took to get the marriage. You know, when we get outside of the biblical way, we find ourselves running through potholes to get the marriage. You know, and I ain't even act like I did it all the way right. I didn't really figure out the way until after I stepped into it already. So. But just to say it for the people that maybe out there single and y'all want to look, y'all looking, y'all wondering which way to go. The way to go is the biblical way. That's the right way to go. Stay abstinent, stay celibate. It's hard, but stay celibate. Work on your relationship with God. And instead of you chasing that relationship, chase your relationship with God, and everything else will be given to you. You don't know what He has in store for you. So just be patient in that aspect, and don't be so focused on checking off your box. I would say.
Well, the way I see marriage, aka relationships, in all aspects, I see it as relating to form a new entity. That one is that a lot of us talk about. Markeisha mentioned earlier about not losing yourself. We're still individuals in a relationship. I kind of agree and disagree at the same time, because in forming that new entity, you do lose yourself. Which goes into how I define marriage. When I see marriage, I see a oneness to where I'm no longer myself. All the other persons no longer their self. We're forming something new. It's a process of a new creation under God. So when I'm doing that, that's where the relate come in. The things that we relate on and how we relate to each other, all of that goes into this new package. And as that new package grows, as individuals, we grow too in surrender. I'm no longer who I used to be when I came into my marriage, because I surrendered to certain things out of respect for the one that I married. And that formed something new. Who I am today is because of the person that I married, and who she is today. I'm sure that she would also say that she's the way that she is because of what I brought to the relationship. And together, we both are new creations in oneness. So marriage for me, it's a beautiful thing in the process. If we're willing to go through the process. You spoke about contracts, Jay. You spoke about contracts, and initially I had had been through the contract thing before. I was once married and been through the contractual stage, and that went horrible because contracts are based on agreements, and then when you breach that agreement, contract ends on either part. But when we talk about marriage under God, in God's eyes, we talk about something that's eternal. You know, both of y'all hit on that, on the eternal part of it. So in that, I have to think also that God told us that we're going to go through trials and tribulations, right?
Yeah.
So when I closed my eyes, when I picked my wife this time, I thought, like when I closed my eyes, who would I rather go through trials and tribulations with? And am I willing? And when I saw her, then I knew that was the person that I should marry. You know, and we've been through trials and tribulations, but in the process of, it's been beautiful. Even when we are in disagreement, I'm at peace with my decision. You know, I know that I'm not going nowhere. She knows that she's not going nowhere. And that's why I don't like her.
Yeah.
And I know that she don't like me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm at peace because this is who I know that I want to be with, and God is in the midst of. And any disagreement that we had, and I'm finished with that, any disagreement that we had, knowing that she has a personal relationship with God, I know I can pray to Him and know that He will work that out in her. Vice versa. You know, so that's what makes our relationship. That's how I see relationships. I think I
See, and a lot of people, they want to be married, but they don't want the marriage. Because they don't know how to fight through the problems and all that. And I'm going to be honest, y'all. I barely made it in relationships, but this is something I had to learn. It take one time for me, and I'm gone. I'm going to block you. You look.
We didn't hurt.
I'm good for that block button. See, but it's a good thing that I was coming up because, you know, I'm a lover girl, and I always had the wrong type of men that I dealt with. So I'm just like, okay, my type of man gets me hurt, gave me chlamydia. You get what I'm saying? Now, we're being honest, because y'all need to hear it. But the moment you step out of what needs to be right, you find what's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? You're so used to the familiar, but when you get unfamiliar, then you see it's good over there. Especially with prayer, too, you know? But my thing is, it's like, yeah, people just want to get married, but don't want the problems that come with it, because it took one time for me, but that's when I learned to set boundaries. Because at first I really didn't set boundaries how I was supposed to. But the moment I learned to set boundaries, it took one time for me to be done. You got one time. You're done. You're blocked. Stop talking to me. I don't care what it was. You were just done. And then when I got with Vassier, he made me mad before. I said, you know what? I'm done. He said, so you just done? I'm like, yes. I'm like, no, wait. Hold on. Because I really like you. You know, but he taught me that just because something just kind of get out the way, you can't talk about it. Yeah, so I was single a lot of my life.
But you said something important. You said my type of man.
Yeah, the type I was used to got me heartbroken and all type of stuff.
Because it's like, you have your type, just like we have the ideal for our life, and then this guy has a type of man for you, or he has the ideal, well, he has the journey for your life, the blueprint. So it's very important, ladies, when you're praying, because with my husband, I prayed for my husband. But what I didn't know is that God had gave me my husband a long time ago. We just had to go on our own different journeys and paths. Because my husband is my high school sweetheart. My husband is my first boyfriend. He was my first everything. But we reconnected like literally like 15, 16 years later. God brought him back to me, or, you know, when he brought us together. Because, yeah, he came looking for me, but I was right there with him. So what I'm saying is y'all have to be careful, mindful, and you have to be very strategic when you pray for stuff. We pray for men, or we think that we have the idea of what a man is or who we want to date or a certain type. And 9 times out of 10, that's not the type of man or the man that God has for you. So it's very important when you're in relationships, you pay attention to everything, every aspect of the relationship. Even when it comes to toxicity, like, you have to be mindful that relationships, they're gonna have toxic moments, but it's not supposed to be toxic every day, all the time. It has to be healthy toxic. It's toxic to the point where, okay, because me and my husband have never had an argument. We've had disagreements because, well, argument, somebody trying to win. Somebody needs to win the argument. We're not never trying to win the argument. We're going to win together. We just having a disagreement. We have to get to the point where we agree. And that's one thing I'm working on as a wife. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, my husband asked me to marry him, and at the time, I thought I wasn't ready. But it wasn't that I wasn't ready. I think I was a wife ever before I was a wife. God blessed me with the necessities, with the tools and everything that I needed to be a wife. However, I'm working on being submissive. When you're a person that comes from being independent, a person that you have already been the head hunter of your whole entire life, the blueprint of everything that you have going, it's really hard to sit back sometimes and be the person that, you know, I'm not the head of this house. I'm not the driver of this boat. Like, it's sometimes it comes across as being very hard. So I'm working on being submissive. And when you're a person that you're a work in progress and you're working together, you can't do nothing but win when it's under the will of God.
That's it, period. We ball till we fall. And my thing is, it's like with this too, for real. Before I got Vassier, I did have to pray. The moment that other man hurt my feelings, and he's blocked.
We know.
The moment that, listen, but it,
You blocked, sir.
yes, you're blocked. But anywho,
Still subscribe and follow. We need that.
We ain't blocking, you know.
We didn't do it.
I don't know who you are, but hey, we need that. Go ahead.
hey, we are as one. Anyways, but I guess, you know, that's when I took that period of time to really get in my Bible. I prayed more. I did a lot of self-work and like having God get into my life. You know, like how I say in the Bible, don't get me right if I quote this wrong, but dying to yourself so you can let him in so you can live, right? Dying to the flesh, yeah. So it took like, you know, that type of work for me to just realize what is a man, a good man for me. And then Vassier just came along and, you know, he just was so wonderful. And I'm just like, okay, this, like the things you're doing is things I prayed about and prayed for. And he done helped me and equipped me into the woman that I'm becoming, you know? Yeah.
I don't like the use
That's
of
it.
Yeah, I ain't trying to tell you, but they both said something I feel like is very, very important. They both said how they prayed, was working on themselves, was pretty much already being evolved to be a wife before being a wife, and their husband came along. Like, and that's how we have to be. Like, I know y'all speaking to the women. I'm a man, I'm gonna speak to y'all too. Like, y'all gotta be patient, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and even for the men, like, I gotta be patient too. I mean, something like, God might not send you, you know what I'm saying? You might have to actually go talk to the woman in general, but he'll put her in your path. You know, it's like for me, I mean, I've been mine at Walmart, so she wasn't nowhere on my radar. So, I mean, it was just, I mean, that's how I said, like, sometimes it can go the opposite way for a man. Like, the woman can come to you in a way and pursue you. But she gonna say I pursue her, but she really pursue me, you know. But anyway,
I'm gonna tell her to
she gonna see
She
it.
gonna
Whatever.
It's gonna take a while, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell
But
her to
anyway, but I think there's two valuable aspects, like, cause people wonder, like, you are what you attract.
Yeah.
So,
That's when I realized I had to
if
change.
you out here walking around, keep it PG, being a dotty, you gonna attract people that want dotties. Like, now don't get me wrong, you might still attract them to a certain extent, especially if you looking real beautiful. But if you walking around like a wife and you carry yourself like a wife without being a wife, you're gonna attract men that hold you to that higher standard. Like, it's just, I feel like if you're attracting a lot of people, as she say, men that gonna hurt you, cheat on you,
Give you chlamydia.
that's dead.
Well, you wrong for doing that because she's gonna let me go.
I don't know who you are, sir, but I don't know why you did what you did. She won't let it go. But yeah, still, I need you to like, follow all that. I'm gonna keep harping on that. Share it if you see it.
Hey,
But
keep watching, you know what I'm saying? Hey, hope
definitely
you
keep
get
watching.
the-
Maybe you can learn a little bit something. We ain't perfect, you know what I'm saying?
So you want to do it to the next person?
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
But I do
Talk
have-
to him,
We'll
man.
soft review.
Go for it.
So, you said you are what you attract, but do we really believe that? Because sometimes they say that the opposites attract.
Oh, wait. Oh, no. You want to touch on that? Or?
You go ahead.
Okay. Because opposites do attract, but that's spiritually and like personality wise, I feel. Because I feel like it attracted that way. Like, I'm very outspoken. outgoing, and love to have fun and all type of things. Vassier, he loves to go to the pond and fish and play that game. That's it. Like, that is it. He don't like to talk to people. He's not very social. But we attract in that nature, you know, because we're so opposite with the personalities. But what he was saying is like, if I'm dressed, you know, very out there, you know, the skirt with the booty cheeks out and all that, and titties just all over the place, and then you got a man that's very, like, you know, manly, he gonna look at you and be like, baby girl, seek help. You get what I'm saying? So that opposite don't attract, because they watch how you carry yourself first. But it can attract if I'm, you know, very dressed, you know, modest, and then I come across a modest man, but my personality is very different from his. It may attract because I could teach him to be more open, and he could teach me how to calm down. Because that's what Vassier do with me. He be telling me, like, girl, you need to just calm down. I'll be like, you know what, you're right. And then I teach him in some aspects, you need to be more open. You know, so that's where it attracts that in the lines. But if I'm just dressed out here looking like a hoe, then, you know, it ain't gonna work out.
And that's pretty much what that's pretty much what I was saying.
But I've seen modest men chase after thotty women.
Because they think
Or
they
I've
can
seen-
say,
But they're just a lustful desire. So
what are they chasing?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, some of them married him. I've seen somebody literally in the church, his father is a pastor, and he married somebody that was a dancer.
What if I said? I think I said some. If I did, my bad. I meant to say some. Some cases. If I did, I don't know if I did or not.
I don't remember.
I don't know if I did. Of course, this ain't 100% accurate, but I'm just saying in general. But what I really mean by like you are what you attract. So like, you know, if you are walking around all slutty and stuff of that nature, most men, they might you still gonna have modest men and unmodest men chasing after you. Mm-hmm. But how you treat it will be how you carry yourself. Is what I mean by you are what you attract. So you walk around like a wife. Most men value that. At least a well-raised man is
right.
gonna value that. So let me make that clear. A well-raised man is gonna value that. They got morals. They gonna value that, even if they don't necessarily treat you all the way right. Because we're not gonna always get it all the way right, mm-hmm. especially in the beginning with a person. You normally kind of be a little iffy, but they gonna treat you differently. They gonna treat you as their wife. But if you they see you shaking your booty on social media all the time, you always in a whole lot of drama, they gonna treat you as such. Okay, you just a booty call to me. So you might get that type of treatment, you know what I mean? So I just see that a lot, and when like it ain't no good men out here, I'm like, but it ain't just no good man or good woman. It's more so how you carry yourself. I feel like even women do it to men. If a man out here is gigolo,
we still here. Still here.
Yeah.
I'm single. We still here. We still know how to
yeah, we got a great modest man right here. And I ain't saying that just because he's on the podcast. I'm dead serious, man. It's probably the real talk. This dude right here probably one of the dude. And I ain't talking about him. He's single too. I ain't talking about Jay. I'm talking about Trey. Trey. Hey, y'all looking for a man that's gonna treat y'all right, regardless of how y'all come in. This you got right now. I'm telling you, this you got. You got them out here. It ain't like they just unexistent. They are here. But we gotta be able to grow. You said something earlier.
Hold on, Dad.
Oh, my bad. I got you. Shout out to Trey. Shout out to Trey Mine. Go look him up.
But on social media site, be real careful getting on social media site. Go Facebook.
You said something else a while ago. I don't mean to keep talking, mm-hmm. But you said something a while ago where you were like you had certain dudes and you like it took one time and they cut. But then you got what I said and you said he did that one time and you like you just gonna stop and he was like really and you like, well, I don't know, I really like you. I think that's a valuable point. Yeah. We gotta understand a lot of the stuff, a lot of relationship we get in, it started from lust. You didn't really like the person. You just had a lustful desire for the person. Mm-hmm. So you're not gonna be willing to work through. Because when it get tough, you don't care no more. You don't care enough to work through it. You just care enough to get what you want.
I want to take that back to what you said earlier when you were saying like you're not gonna come into the relationship necessarily 100%. Isn't it when you're doing it the right way through God, we build each other up in a way?
Yeah, it's built.
Definitely.
I bet that I'm the youngest out of these two. I know I'm still growing in my relationship, and I bet you they can say they are still growing in their relationship, and I don't know how long they've been married in general. Like it's a constant growth pattern, because you talk about the opposite attract. You need opposite in a relationship for the relationship to work, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because just like she said about hers, my wife is more outgoing, outspoken, and very social, and I'm not. I'm more laid back. I sit in the cut. I don't like a lot of that type of attention, but she will go to the attention. Like so, and it's still you know it attracts. It's just so it's not bad to be opposite, but yeah, I don't know. It's not bad to be opposite. I don't know if people think being opposite is a bad thing. It's not.
I do got a question on, and it's really just for you, because I've been seeing a lot of like. I ain't gonna say, you know, I have been seeing a lot when it comes to females, they be saying they be doing wife duties and they're not even a girlfriend yet. And the thing what they sit there and say is like, they'll sit there and cook a certain time or clean a certain time or have sexual intercourses, and they say that's like wife duties. Yeah. So what is your definition when it comes to wife duties?
So wife duties, I mean, that's bare minimum what you said. That's mediocre. I'm saying like I have always been a nurturer. Like I speak life into my partner, well my husband, because he do not like me talking about no past relationship, and y'all don't even deserve to be even brought in. So with my husband, when he was my boyfriend, I spoke life into him. Anything that he needed, I was supportive of him on all levels. When it comes to the household, that was taken care of. Far as, well, we didn't even, this go around, it was no sex before marriage, like it wasn't. So that was a blessing. So having sexual intercourse, that's, I mean, we're not supposed to be doing it out of wedlock anyway. So ladies, I hope y'all not bragging about that. And put that as wife duties, because I mean, that's the bare minimum. But anyways, like literally, being a wife, when I say wife duties, I define it as like, I mean, being submissive. Even though I'm still working on it, I was submissive. My man at the time, because he wasn't my husband yet, he was a person that no matter what you did, how you do it, I was there for you. Feeding into whatever relationship that we have. I mean, just helping him grow in any area. That was wife duties. I mean, if you need me to show up, I was showing up. I was there. So cooking and cleaning and stuff, that's motherly duties, honestly. Take care of the household. If you're a mother or if you just a single person, that's a way of survival. It's not really defined as wifely duties. But you know, uplifting your man, your partner, nurturing him, making sure you show up, feeding into him. I mean, that's what I would say is wifely duties.
Real quick, all the people that she want to speak on, still like, subscribe.
Yeah, y'all can like and subscribe because I know y'all watching, but
we want all y'all. It don't matter. We don't care about that.
It ain't no all.
Well, then.
Some of them need to.
Hey, matter of fact, I'm coming to y'all outside the store. You know, some people only right when they only talk first. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying,
hey, y'all might have a point on why y'all did.
Go all to the medias and follow. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm just joking.
Follow. Go ahead.
My thing is, like, I'm big on proverbs of a woman, and that really helps you get equipped into like what a wife should be. Not even just a wife, but just a godly woman. You know, because the journey isn't easy at all. Like with me and my man, we do live together. We aren't married yet.
Yes.
But it's coming for sure. I just feel that in my spirit.
She just threw it out there.
But yeah, we live together. But God has blessed us with a home where I have my own room and bathroom. He have his own room and bathroom. So once I really locked into my journey, I said, okay, babe, we gotta stop doing that, you know, because let's really get this right. And you know, it takes two to really do it. But this is just being vulnerable and really talking about it. People that's probably in my situation, but just need to just kind of get that advice from people that's going through it, you know, because we open and real, right? Right? Right,
left, and side to side.
Right, okay. So, you know, we decided to like exit out the sex part, and I had to pray over his spiritual journey because he wasn't there yet with me. So once he finally locked in on his Bible and started reading, we do that now. We don't do that. We had a slip up a minute ago, but it happened. But it's the fact that like we're trying. As long as you keep trying, and this is what I love too. Like I was telling Markeisha earlier, I'm happy that we can have healthy arguments without the sex. Because you got people nowadays who in these relationships and they think sex solve their problems. And it don't. But what I love at 24 and 26, because I'm 26 and he's 24, we know how to have these hard conversations, these arguments without running to the bed. No, we face it. We pray and then we go into prayer on how to fix it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a food for thought right there. So basically, if y'all always running to the bed to fix a problem, y'all not gonna last. It's not. Because once I finally got a man that say, oh, well, maybe we just need to do that. I used to think that was the way. I really did. When I was like younger, I thought like, okay, maybe we just need to, just go back real quick, do something. But no, once I came across him and, really got locked in, I saw like, okay, this is the right way to do it. And then how we like pray after the situation to like really get through it. See, that's conquering a lot. And because listen, the devil wanted us to get in that bed, but we ain't do that. And that's a good thing for me. That's an admirable thing at that young age. Fixing the situations, fixing the problems, we don't run to sex. That's a beautiful thing to me.
Yeah, it is.
Like for real.
I definitely feel that. I'm learning a lot listening to y'all today. My relationships, they've been a little rough, but I am single at the moment. I'm also divorced. I got divorced in 2020. We was on together for like a couple months. Don't start. I've always believed in love. Love has been real big to me. Still trying to find it, and like I said, I'm learning a lot from the stuff that they saying. There was a time in my life where I was very, I guess you could say, angry or argumentative is what I'm gonna call it, and I would argue. We would go back and forth, screaming and hollering at each other. Like there was a time in my life where that was who I was. Now, I think the biggest thing that happened for me to change was like I got the stuff to lose now, and so I don't get angry like that no more. Even when it comes to relationships, I just don't get angry because it's like it's not that deep. And then when it comes to relationships, it's like it's supposed to be me and you versus the issue, not me versus you. And it's supposed to be me and you versus whatever the problem is. So let's sit down and figure it out. But I know I'm still trying to work on that. Now I will say for me, it's hard to work on relationship problems when you ain't in a relationship. Like how can I practice self-control of not getting angry with the person if they did something wrong with me and I'm not in a relationship? Like it's hard to practice on some things. So I don't know, I'm just working. I'm trying to pray and have God teach me how to be that type of man without actually being in a relationship. I do want to ask, like, Jay, you talked about how we supposed to let it come to us in a way. When you walk in faith, you heal yourself, you work on yourself, and you kind of let it come to you. How do you know though? Like as men, we talk to pursue whoever it is we want. We talk that, but how do I know that person is the person I'm supposed to pursue?
Discernment.
I think that'll boil down to discernment. You'll be led. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean don't pursue it. Don't pursue
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm
You know what I'm saying? But what I mean by letting it come to you, stop being so focused on what you want and focus on your relationship with God first. In the word it says, seek ye the kingdom first. So if we continue to seek the kingdom first, He will give us a desire of our heart. Some of them, not all of them, but some He will give. So He might know you, okay, since you might, and He also He know our weaknesses. So if your weakness is discernment, but it's time for you to have that woman, He might just have her be the one that come to you. He might just put you in the path. Y'all might be real cool, might work together, whatever the case may be. Like he can work in different type of ways. It ain't. I don't want to sit up here and try to label it one way when He working all ways. So I just say just seek Him first. Just seek Him above all else. Just continue to seek. Don't even worry about, oh man, I want a little man. I'm 28 now, man. Dang, God, you understand, bro? Don't worry about that. I've been single for 5 years. Oh well. I'm good with God though.
That's it.
I feel that.
Like, and just keep that.
Yeah.
Divinely, our first marriage should be to God. Off top, that's the ultimate marriage when we look at the word itself. Anything beyond that, you're asking for doom. You know, so as he said, seek God first, and then He will give you all your heart's desire that's within His will.
There we go.
As long as it's in alignment with His will, and if you're seeking Him first, then your will want to align with His will, and He will give you that thing. For example, when me and my wife got together, like a lot of people, I heard it said they prayed for a husband or prayed for a wife, whatever the situation may be. My wife says that she also prayed for a husband, but she also had a checklist. And when she prayed for that husband, I didn't fit what she had on her checklist. You know, since she had 20 things, I might have only hit 2 of them. You know what I'm saying? And we have an idea of what we want in the physical, but God works on the spiritual level.
Exactly.
We gotta talk about that.
And I lost a lot in translation of what we was conversating about, but a lot of times who we attracted to says a lot about ourselves.
That is true.
You know, so if I see a woman dressed a certain way, in a tangible setting or on a physical tip, my body and my lust will tell me that's what I want, but my spirit will tell me that I know that it ain't what I need necessarily. So do we move on our wants or do we move on our needs? And then I wanted to propose, put out a question, do we actually grow when things are the same? Meaning if we're looking for somebody that's the same as us or compatible to us in the things that we're familiar with, can we actually grow with that? See, I don't want anything that's the same as me because it doesn't challenge me for growth. Thus, a wife. When I'm looking for a wife, and how I define wife is someone that motivates me to be a better man with God. All right. My wife, I have to say, I'm gonna put this out to the world. I envy my wife in a good way because I envy her relationship with God. I wish I was as close to God. Even though I'm a minister, she's definitely a prayer warrior, and she pushes me to want the relationship that I see that she has with God.
That's the type
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's my motivation, It's not to please her, it's that I envy what she got with God because I see how God moves in her life.
Yeah.
I see how He done changed her since we've been together. It's like, dang, I should have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like prayer in the morning, as soon as you wake up. I'm waking up, I'm laying back in the bed, I might get my phone.
Mm-hmm.
She going straight to the prayer room. Like, dang, I should have done that. You know what I'm saying? So the next day I want to beat her to it and things like that. I want that what she had. Now I don't pray as hard to her. I do a simple prayer straight to the point. My wife can pray for hours. You know what I'm saying? So she's my motivator. She's my backbone. There's things that in the beginning of our relationship, there's still some things in the world that I still dibble and dabble in, and fight with, war with within myself. And I thank God that she's strong enough in certain areas to where she can say, "Oh no, that's not what that ain't what we're here for," whatever the situation is. To where she's strong enough to where I respect her and her relationship, where she's at with God, to want to be that man for her. I have adopted what we call. You mentioned about how do you know how to be a husband without actually being a husband in a relationship. Then we have to adopt certain ways outside of that relationship. We got a blueprint. We have a manuscript. I knew that what I defined as a husband didn't work for me when I was. What does God say a husband is? What God say my duty should be? I prayed on that. And I have adopted, and this is a nugget for somebody who's out there, I adopted what I call the Ephesian man. If you read the book of Ephesians chapter 5, it'll tell you what a godly husband is supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like. It'll tell you what your duties are to your wife and what a wife duty is to her husband. And if those qualities don't line up with who I'm looking at, then I never had a wife. And that's what I said about my first marriage. I was married, but I never had a wife. Neither was our husband, according to God. And that was big for me. And I was thinking, dang, it said, Bible also says that You know, once you're married and you leave that person or whatever, you know, you're still married, so you basically committing adultery. But it's not in line with, when you take that one part and don't put it in line with the rest of the Bible. Truth be told, I was never married under God, in God's eyes. I never had a wife, and she never had a husband, because it was what I chose for me and not what God chose for me. So the Bible itself, when you put it all together, it is in alignment. But if we just take parts of it, sometimes it can get controversial.
Right.
You know? So in its entirety, it is true, and that's what I had in mind.
Clock that.
So take us out.
You finna say something like that?
You go.
He said something. My bad. He
No,
said,
you good. Go for it. Go for it.
he said something that I was thinking about.
We close.
Treat it-
Come on over there. Come on over there.
But
I'm sorry, Green.
yeah. She was upset. But he had said something. Dang, you started saying so much too. I was trying to take it all in. Dang, what part was it? Oh, when he was talking about his weaknesses and her strengths. I feel like that's important to recognize in a relationship, especially as a man. And the reason why I say especially as a man is because we are told that we're supposed to lead and be the head of the relationship. And sometimes it put us in position to even try to control an aspect of the relationship that we weak in, but our spouse may be strong in. And I feel like it ain't just about being that alpha male of a relationship. Being the head is just being able to put everything in position so it can flow right. So if you weak in, I just use an example, if you weak in finances, but your wife is stronger, why be so insecure and not want to allow her to take care of the financing part? Even if she don't work and you work and she just take care of all the money, that don't mean you less of a man because you take care of the money. You know what I'm saying?
Social media what does is what
Social
changes
media
that.
will do that.
Social
Like
media
she's
makes
stronger
it-
in that area, you know what I'm saying? Allow her to be strong in that area. It's a relationship, y'all on one, so just lead it in that way. I just use that one example.
No, but it's true though. It's like a leader of an army, like or whatever. Like they set people in place because they're strong with this part, they're strong with that part. Like sometimes in a relationship, you gotta delegate to your wife or vice versa to your husband, saying you're good with this, you take that, and like you just gotta trust each other. That's the whole.
It's just like a team. Everybody on
Yeah,
the same
you're on the
team.
same team.
Everybody on the same team. They all have that one goal, but everybody don't play the same position. Some people are better in this position. It was the same thing as being in a
And
marriage
I don't know this
relationship.
out, but I do want to ask, why because I had to teach my man too, like, I'm stronger in like areas that he's weak in, and when I fulfill them areas, it's like he get a little insecure about it. And I'm telling him like, but I tell him like, put your pride to the side and let's just work together. Like,
Easier said than done.
and I want to know what's some advice for him and just being period that feel that way.
This one thing I would add, you said you're stronger in the area and you fulfilled the area, but did you submit in that area to even check with him before you done it? Or did you just, I'm just gonna take control?
Well,
Cause that make a difference.
Yeah, we've had this conversation where I
Yeah.
told him sometimes you gotta let him be a man
Be
first.
a man.
Let him be a man. Now, if he say you go ahead and do whatever, that's cool, but you gotta let him be a man first sometimes.
yeah, well, y'all just clocked me.
That's-
Look, but that's true though.
Yeah.
I don't talk to him about it because I'm always on go. Like I'm ready. Like I get it done. So I just do it, and he tell me like, "Why you just ain't talk to me about it?" Or why you? I'm like, because I mean, I'm just gonna do it, and you just like.
Yeah, see, that's not
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't.
But I'm not married either yet because I do
But you
have.
But
that.
you in a relationship, and when you're in a relationship, it's
Yeah.
also a partnership.
I get that, but I'm big on. I get that because the thing is, it's like we got boundaries too. Cause you know, it's like what you said, I cook, clean, take care of the house and everything. Cause I don't pay bills, okay? So I take care of everything that goes on in that home and checking on him and making sure he's okay. But it is I don't wash his clothes and stuff. I ain't married. I ain't gotta do your laundry.
But
Yeah.
the thing
It's his boundaries too.
Right.
When I'm
You're
a
not
wife, then
married.
I can fulfill other things. Cause we gotta get that covenant with God first. Cause we really sinning just by living together. If we're being honest, we're not married.
It's the name.
What y'all call it in here?
Shack.
I thought it was.
That's a real shame.
Check.
we're shacking up, and but it's unfortunate because due to my situation. But like I said, we lived together, but we were so blessed with our own rooms and bathrooms, and until we get that covenant under God and married, then I'll wash his clothes.
But this is my question to you. So y'all are dating, y'all are in a relationship. Isn't the goal to get married?
Yes.
So would y'all agree that it's important to do certain duties and roles? It's basically like you practice something before you get there.
Exactly.
So if you're not washing his clothes and doing certain things of a wife, how could he know what type of person you will be as a wife? You're not doing wifely duties, but y'all in a relationship and y'all basically living as if y'all are married.
Well, but here's the thing. I do everything right when it comes to just being a woman. No, wait. Let me not say your mind. Forgive me. Forgive me. I didn't mean it that way, but I do everything that is okay with us right now. Because he understands too that we're not married, so he know I'm not finna be like I do just about everything, but just wash his clothes and clean his bathroom because that's his privacy because we're not married.
So when y'all get married, you just gonna flip the switch on and I'm doing all
yes, because I'm married.
That's easy. That's
tough. No, it's not though, because my thing is I love him so much and I'm willing to do that. But at the same time, it's still boundaries because I'm not a wife.
Okay, so.
And plus, our duty, our one and only duty is getting this Bible together and doing that together. That's the one and only duty.
Okay. So look here.
But I couldn't
if you're gonna set boundaries about what you're gonna do as a wife and how you're gonna go about this godly covenant, you also gotta depart from the house too. You can't pick and choose what you want to do. You can't shack up and decide you don't want to do wifely duties at the same time.
So you don't clean the whole house, but you don't clean the bathroom or you don't wash his clothes.
I don't clean his bathroom. That's his business. And I got my own bathroom that I handle my business. And he's okay with it because he understands.
Right.
Plus he don't ask me.
What works for each person? Relationship works for them, but at the same time,
it works for us.
If your goal is to be a wife, you have to do duties of a wife before you're ever a wife.
And I feel like I do that. I just don't wash his clothes.
So you don't do it.
And clean his bathroom.
Lord.
Help me. We gonna work on that. But y'all, we gonna close this episode.
Oh, hold on. Don't close it yet.
Oh, go ahead and do your scripture.
Gotta do it. And we coming from Ephesians 5 as minister Lorenzo spoke of. Read y'all, man. I'll start at verse 21. Pay attention.
Please.
And further, submit to one another out of reverence for Christ. For wives, this means submit to your husband as to the Lord. For a husband is the head of his wife, as Christ is the head of the church. He is the Savior of his body, the church. As the church submits to Christ, so you wives should submit to your husbands in everything. For husbands, this means love your wives just as Christ loved the church. He gave up his life for her to make her holy and clean, washed by the cleansing of God's word. He did this to present her to himself as a glorious church without a spot or wrinkle or any other blemish. Instead, she will be holy and without fault. In the same way, husbands ought to love their wives as they love their own bodies. For a man who loves his wife actually shows love for himself. No one hates his own body but feeds and cares for it, just as Christ cares for the church. And we are members of his body. As the scriptures say, a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. This is a great mystery, but it's an illustration of the way Christ and the church are one. So again, I say each man must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband.
Amen.
I just had to read that at the beginning of this week.
That's good.
I'm grateful.
Well, y'all, thanks for tuning in to Millennial Podcast, where it's just real, raw, and authentic. Also faith-based, and I'm gonna just say this. Everything that we express to y'all, I pray that y'all take it in, because I'm very open about myself, because I know it's many young women that's my age that go through the things that I just talked about and probably don't talk about it, but I'm willing to talk about it. So just follow our page, subscribe, like, follow, and what I'm trying to say.
If y'all need to reach out to any of us.
Yes, that part. We are here. But yeah, Millennial Podcast.
Can I read one more? It's on
Yeah.
Go
it's
ahead.
on it's on
Go
speed.
ahead.
I got to. Hey, I'm in Genesis with this one. You know, we gotta
Go ahead.
we gotta go to the beginning with this one because I feel like we done got away from what God created initially.
Divinely.
So, you know, God made Adam, and in the midst of all that, Genesis chapter 2 verse 18 said, "Then the Lord God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper who is just right for him." Then he went on to form an animal, but there was still no helper just right for him. So the Lord God called the man to fall into a deep sleep. While the man slept, the Lord God took out one of the man's ribs and closed the opening. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib, and he brought her to the man. At last the man exclaimed, "This one is bone from my bone and flesh from my flesh. She will be called woman because she was taken from man." This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. Now, I have to read that last part. But beginning of creation, man, God made man, and he saw man needed a helper. So he created one man from the rib. That's the design.
So I need to go to sleep. He gonna take one of my ribs.
He already took it.
You already took it.
He already took
So
it.
basically, everybody has a soulmate. It's a person out here for everybody. God did not intend for you to be by yourself. However, He do not want you going out just seeking any and everybody. Let Him lead you, put you in the path of who you're supposed to be with.
That's it. Anybody else?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
He said, yeah.
Yes, but even with saying that, there's in the New Testament it also says that, well, Paul also says that if you cannot do this thing, if you cannot live according to the divinity of God, it's best for you to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Exactly.
can't live up, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not in a place, and you know you're not in a place to where you're willing to submit to another and become one or help another grow, then it would be in your best interest to stand alone.
Thank y'all for tuning in to Millennial Podcast. And yeah.
Peace out, y'all.
Yeah.